So now leading into season 2, Wesley Ray's or Rix's went up 5 overall points after sitting down a year. Ethan Shoxey went up 4 from Isaac Nisby went up 5. You can see all these players going up. Our other wide receivers didn't really do anything. Hunter Minivan went up +4 in training throughout the year. So and Hayes Havoc went up +3. So all these guys are like actively trying to get up. Our corner, I don't even know what happened to some of these guys. Colin Taekwondo went up 5. Nisby went up 4. And there's our wide receiver we got, who I accidentally forgot to add, and our corner who's also there, Bob GC and Hayden Badcan. They're all we're all in now after a season. Actually, next season's the season where we're all in. Finally, but yes, that's just me showing you all of what's happening. Our first game of the year is against number 22 ranked Texas in the nation, as Ethan Shoxey gets rocked. This is a really, really boring game. We got destroyed. Like, it is not pretty. So actually on this play in particular, our quarterback Wesley Ricks is raised, but back spasms. He will be back this game, but our backup quarterback Brown actually launched a touchdown pass to Alex Adams, who is the lone non-family member / friend on this team. So Wesley Ray's come back in after Dan Brown threw a 61-yard touchdown pass. 27-7 here in the fourth quarter. This game's over. I'm just trying to dump it down as much as I can because this game is over. Stat pad a little bit. There's just no coming back when your team is bad. Norrells actually gets a lot of playing time because he's the second back. He's the more receiving back towards for Ethan Shoxey. Ethan Shoxey, power back. So hurrying up, Wesley Ray's is the future. He is the guy we want. Norrells, dump down pass, touchdown Norrells. I mean, trying to get us back in the game a little bit, but like I was saying, Wesley Ray's is the future. He is the main guy we want to build around, being that he's QB1. We're playing Clemson now. We got destroyed the game before. Number 17th ranked Clemson in the nation. I don't honestly know how we're going to win a single game this year because we are a 79 overall and Clemson is a 97. There's no shot we're going to win this game going in, but I feel like the game plan is pretty nice. The game plan is get Wesley Ray's the ball, and he will do the rest. Hitting Jameel Williamson in stride on this 20-yard pass. I mean, this is the game plan. Wesley Ray's, he is the guy. He is the man. I just don't pass the ball a lot, so you'll notice some bad interceptions, bad fumbles. But the triple option is something or speed option is something that we like to do a lot. And unfortunately, I clicked L1 at the worst time possible because it's only 14-6, and we're having Clemson. Like, we're there. We're there with Clemson. We can beat Clemson. It's just a matter of can we actually perform. Defense is not really my specialty. I'm more of an offensive guy, so this bulldozing 60, I don't even know how far this was. This is the point I turned the game off. Like, I almost turned the game off. Hayes Havoc with an insane tackle with a 30-yard run, like just bulldozing our guys. They end up scoring on that drive, 21-6, fourth quarter, 3 minutes left, 4th and 13, and Wesley Ray's, I clicked the button 4 times, and he got sacked. It just is what it is. We don't have the talent yet with Clemson, and that's okay because this is not a 1-year rebuild. This is an evolution or a development type for our players, for my friends, family, and I don't care about any of the player stats, or I don't care about anybody else other than us. And if we win, we win, and I want to see how far we can develop and grow. So we did end up losing 31-6. There's the stats on the screen. Playing Youngstown State now. Man, Youngstown State's a dog. But yeah, I am going to play some FCS schools, in particular Youngstown State. I did not change their jerseys. It was a complete accident. This game's boring. I ran the ball a lot. Ethan Shoxey, I mean, he's the man. He's a freak. He's just so slow. The read option with Wesley Ray's is unbeatable so far for me. So we ended up winning 17-6, kneeling out in the fourth quarter. It's a boring game. I don't know how they're 1-6. I know it's a glitch, but I don't know how they're 1-6. But we do end up winning this game 17-6. But this is the game plan now. We're passing the ball. This is a lot of the MAC games coming up. MAC conference play is going to be tough because we are not a good team. We're 1-2 now after beating the mighty Youngstown State Penguins. Um, we we need Ethan Shoxy to develop. We need him to get faster because he's a 75 speed. I'm pretty sure he's 75 speed, and we just need him to develop. Scouting, a lot of the recruits are. I'm scouting obviously because you want the team to get better as well. Kent State, for whatever reason, that game got lost. We ended up losing that game, but I don't know how we lost footage to that. Early down 7-0 to Ohio. We are 1-3. They're 1-4. And like I'm saying, the ball is going to, when passing, I'm going to try to get the ball as much as I can to the players, Nisby and GGC on offense and Ethan Shoxy. On this play, Wesley Ricks finds, this is a laser beam to Bob GGC in the back of the end zone. 28-yard touchdown pass from Race to Bob GGC, and you're going to see that a lot this year. Because there's no other talent on this offense. It's Minivan, Nisby, and that's it. Alex Adams is the other outsider, but Ethan Shoxy is our goal line guy. There's no other offense besides these guys. I don't care about anybody else. I'm only giving the balls to these specific players, and on defense, I'm only going to be using Havoc and Badcan. So Wesley Reyes is the future. I need him to get faster. I need him to get better accuracy-wise. End of the game, 2014. We end up losing last play of the game, and it's just going to be like that a lot this year. Akron is not very good defensively. We're not very good on the line, and we just have to we have to win a couple games. Already down 7-0 here to Toledo, and we have to beat the teams that we can beat, and we just have not beaten. We've only beaten one team. I don't know how, but Wesley Reyes laser beamed at Bob GGC, and Bob GGC he's a freak. He is the guy. Touchdown pass here to Jameel Williamson, and he's a speedster. I didn't think he would actually develop into a speedster, but him and Alex Adams, I end up throwing the ball a lot to in these games, not intentionally, trust me, because sometimes it's just the guy that's open, and I don't care. At the end of the day, it's all going into stats for Wesley Reyes, so I'm not really too worried about it. But on this, sit down. Havoc lays the hammer. So now, losing 21-10 here in the second half, near halftime, Wesley Reyes ends up firing the ball to Bob GC for a touchdown pass, and Bob GC is our only hope on offense right now. He's a freak. He's a menace. We end up losing 45-38. And their quarterback went to town on us. He had 4 touchdowns. I mean, he's like that. He was like that. But now facing Bowling Green, we're 1-5. They're 2-4 at Bowling Green, and the game plan is run the ball a lot because Ethan Shoxy needs some yards, and he just fights for a lot of extra yards, and it's amazing. He doesn't really gain a whole lot of yards because he is so slow. Yeah. And it's just, we have to find ways to win, and we have to find the ways to get guys the ball. Unfortunately here, for whatever reason, Ethan Shoxy was subbed out, so John Zell Norrells ends up scoring a touchdown. I didn't know that he was in the game, and we end up losing this game anyways, 38-28 with 10 seconds left. I don't know why they're running a play. I don't know why they were at all, but they end up running a final play, and we get a stop. But we end up losing 38-28, dropped to 1-6 on the year. Just a very disappointing year. It's just defense, and once we find a way to improve our defense, we will win a lot of games. Bowling Green, we should beat Bowling Green. It's just we can't find ways to win right now. It just sucks. Now losing 14-10 to Georgia Southern, who's 4-3 actually. I didn't actually know that, but Wesley Reyes does get the star icon. Fires the ball at Bob GC wide open. I thought it was a touchdown the whole way, but I guess Bob GC's too slow. Read option. This is the bread and butter down towards the goal line. Dude, Wesley Reyes he's the guy going forward. I wasn't sure. 5 seconds left. We ended up kneeling out. If you weren't sure about Wesley Reyes, this is the game to figure out if he was him or not. Now the game against Navy, who's 2-7. Bob finds Ethan Shoxy towards the goal line for 7-yard catch, and it's like I said, this is a development year. This is to figure out where we are at, and if Wesley Reyes is the guy going forward. Back-to-back plays here. Wesley Reyes finds Isaac Nisby for a 2-yard touchdown, And I mean, he's a freak, man. I can't stop saying it. Jameel Williamson puts the defender on skates. Good lord. We ended up winning that game 48-0. That was a boring game. I'm gonna be real. Billy Thompson does commit to us. I mean, that guy in the future is going to become something special. That guy will get renamed to somebody else. Just keep on lookout for that. But Buffalo now in the snow. We do end up winning that game 17-0 against Buffalo. And all these scouts are coming. And this game, Western Michigan game, that was brutal. We lost 35-2. This game just continues. I mean, we just can't win. We're 4-6. We actually won a 3-game streak. And Wesley Reyes actually fires the ball way down the field to Bob GC for a touchdown pass, which is crazy. That's a sick catch by Bob GC. Doesn't end up mattering. It's stat pad. Eastern Michigan game now. I think this is the final game of the year. We'll end up 4-7. We do end up winning 25-7 to the Eastern Michigan. We end up beating them in the final game of the year. We ended up getting a kick/punt return touchdown that game. It was pretty cool. But Jeff Rhodes, Charles Stewart, these guys already committed. Like, scouting and recruiting is not the focus of this. At the end of the year, 2,466 passing yards for Wesley Reyes, 18 touchdown passes, 12 interceptions, 238 yards on the ground. I mean, Ethan Shoxey was the main guy. He had 191 attempts, only had 587 rushing yards, which is so bad. Jameel Williamson was the leading receiver with 719 yards but only 3 touchdowns. Bob GC ended up having 7 touchdown catches, 659. Alex Adams actually ended up finishing more than Isaac Nisby, which is crazy. But Hayes Havoc had 43 tackles, no sacks, but he did have a pick. Hayden Badcan did have 2 picks. So I guess that all kind of, I guess it's just a development. I just hope that these guys can get better in coverage. So like I keep saying over and over and over again, this is a development year. Next year is the year where we put it all together. It's absolutely the year because all of these guys, training results, we're getting a new wide receiver, we're getting a new left end. As you can see there, Wesley Reyes finished 57th in the country with 2,400 passing yards and 204 with 587 yards, 214 in the country for Ethan Shoxey in rushing yards. I mean, next year is the year for sure. All of these guys were. There's not really a big one that left besides Xavier Gray, who graduated. But I mean, next year is the year. Next year is the year. We're getting these guys. We put 12,000 points, and we didn't get a single one of them. We didn't get anyone. I don't know how this happened. I put 1,000 points on every person, and I don't know how we ended up not getting anybody. So we end up not improving in that, but we do end up getting 3 athletes to put random places. I think I redshirted them all. Training results at the end of the year. Alex Adams actually went up to an 94, but Wesley Reyes, this is the big one here. I don't care about anybody else. He went up 5 points as a sophomore. He is a sophomore redshirted now. He went up 5 points. He's at 87 overall, 91 throw power, 89 throw power, 91 throw accuracy. This is the biggest one. This is the biggest upgrade by far. This is our quarterback future. 76 overall. He went up 5 points. Ethan Shoxey did 77 speed, and Alex Adams went up 92. Charlie Gardner actually ended up redshirted, so don't worry about that. Bob GGC ends up going up to a 76 with, I think it's 86 catching, and Isaac Nisby has 91 catching. And Isaac Nisby overall is like the same, except he's time and speed less. Hunter Minivan has 81 overall now. He is a blocking tight end, but he is so good when I need him. All these guys really, it's just a development year, and that was a really good development year. Hayes Havoc ends up going to a 76 plus 4 overall. So now that these guys are all sophomores now, they're all going to be sophomores now. That was a freshman year. Hayden Badcan goes up to a 71. Yeah, with all that being said, on to next year. This is the year.